a schizophrenic legend who, in the cosmic conflict between schizophrenics and Freemasons, one Benjamin Coleman, a Canadian schizophrenic, theorized that Freemasonry is a branch of Judaism. Indeed, it's not as simple as that, but British Freemasonry, and therefore US and Canadian Freemasonry, are directly controlled by Sabbateans of the Jericho Group. Indeed, these networks of British Freemasons, i.e. the network, are superseded in the intelligence world by Sabbatean networks, especially the Jericho Group. Indeed, the Jericho Group is the pinnacle of the global intelligence world. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Alphabet, a Hasidic network operating out of Kursk, are subordinate to the Jericho Group. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the network, i.e. the intelligence branch of the United Grand Lodge of England, the UGLI, are directly coordinated by the Jericho Group from their headquarters in London. It's interesting to consider also the Lighthouse Network, which is operative for the Cecil family and wishes to give me a lobotomy, is directly coordinated by the Duke of Kent, Grand Master of the United Grand Lodge of England. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, I'm basically caught up in the cosmic conflict between schizophrenics and the Freemasons. So it's all very interesting. Indeed, there are even theories that the voices are implanted in the heads of schizophrenics by Freemasons who coordinate the demonic entities that are representative of the consciousness of the voices. Indeed, I do not believe that schizophrenia is a chemical imbalance. And indeed, it seems that the voices are actually entities coordinated by Freemasons and Sabbateans in occult ceremonies. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, how does this reflect on the Itzhak Bentov theory of the 20 to 30% of mental patients being of a higher stage of evolution? I'm not sure, because I'm now being influenced by Jerry Marzinski's theories on the fact that the voices are entities rather than a chemical imbalance. However, the fact that these 20 to 30% of paranoid schizophrenics are of a higher stage of evolution may allow for the fact of the paranoid schizophrenics becoming receivers for cosmic intelligence. Therefore, the Freemasons and Sabbateans wish to destroy the connection to cosmic intelligence and therefore infest the brains of paranoid schizophrenics with demons and demonic entities, which is all part of the overall Masonic agenda to destroy any threats to their network. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, as I stated in the previous video, Moonraker Lodge number 8747 in Devizes and its Master Mason, Stephen Bridge, oversee the organ harvesting cabal operating out of Waterrose and Sons butcher shop. So it's all very interesting to consider that this butcher's shop organ harvesting cabal is a direct Masonic network. Indeed, many of the butchers themselves are initiated Masons of Moonraker Lodge number 8747, and this is also reflected here in Warminster, what with the activities of C.J. Robbins' butcher shop in terms of organ harvesting and ritual sacrifices are directly overseen by Wyvern Lodge number 8620, operating out of the Masonic Hall on the main street in Warminster, directly opposite C.J. Robbins' butcher shop. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, various Master Masons of Wyvern Lodge number 8620 are operative for the network, i.e. the intelligence branch of the United Grand Lodge of England, as well as the Scottish Rite, indeed. The Scottish Rite intelligence branch is also the network, so it's interesting to consider, indeed, this is British Freemasonry in its operative form. And indeed, the British Freemason networks are themselves superseded in the intelligence world by the Jericho group at the top level. The network, i.e. the intelligence branch of the British Freemasons, is also directly interconnected with the German Masonic and Templar networks of the DVD, so there is a crossover between British Freemasons, Nazis, and Sabbateans. Indeed, it does seem that the Sabbatean networks, such as the Jericho group, and to a certain extent the Alphabet, oversee the Deutsche Verteidigungsdienst and British Freemasonry's the network. So it's all very interesting to consider, indeed. Many MI5 and MI6 operatives within the British Security and Intelligence Services are also themselves operatives of the network, as the majority of overarching British intelligence operatives are themselves Royal Arch Freemasons. And indeed, how does this pertain to the saga of the Vatican? Indeed, the Vatican, i.e. Romish papal thinking, is now coordinated by Royal Arch Freemasons on many levels and Sabbateans in its ultimate hierarchy. So it's interesting to consider, indeed, the Sabbateans have well and truly infiltrated and taken over the Vatican, utilizing an infiltration and penetration scheme of the entity, and therefore able to control global Catholicism through having control of the Vatican. So it's all very interesting indeed. There are many theories that it was always a false conflict between the Vatican hierarchy and the Freemasons, though at this moment I cannot fully comment on that. Indeed, there were numerous papal encyclicals that condemned Freemasonry. However, this may have been a counterintelligence plot, and therefore was not actually in effect. Indeed, the majority of the Vatican hierarchy, if not all, are Freemasons. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, returning to Benjamin Coleman. Benjamin Coleman was a schizophrenic and operative of the Cosmic Intelligence Services, i.e. the Bedlam Network, committed arson on 3 Masonic lodges and temples in Vancouver a few years ago. Indeed, his theory was that the Freemasons were utilizing mind control mechanisms on him and beaming technology, and indeed, this is true. The Freemasons are notorious for mind control black projects and the use of beaming technology. Indeed, I am being beamed at by Freemasons of the United Grand Lodge of England. So it's very interesting to consider. Indeed, the Freemasons also control, through their police branches, the networks of gang stalkers that harass and torment paranoid schizophrenic targeted individuals for the overarching Masonic agenda. Indeed, this is all very interesting to consider, especially as the Sabbateans overseeing the whole project have a complete hatred of schizophrenics and schizophrenia. Indeed, the Sabbatean networks are so deep within demonic energies that they despise the cosmic frequencies of the paranoid schizophrenic. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, also Sabbatean networks and Sabbatean connected networks do not like mental patients walking around in locations where there are such operations going on as Masonic organ harvesting. Indeed, Devizes police have had memos from Sabbateans and Masonic lodges warning them to arrest any mental patient seen near the Walter Rose and Sons butcher shop. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Devizes Police are Masonic and operative as part of a Sabbatean scheme. So it's all very interesting to consider that the Devizes Police Network does interlink all the way up to the Sabbatean network known as the Jericho Group, whose headquarters is the catacombs beneath the Kremlin. It's all very interesting to consider the influence of Sabbateanism on the creation of Marxism, and therefore on the genesis of Bolshevism and the Russian intelligence services as we know them today through Soviet continuums. Indeed, this is all Illuminist trickery and subterfuge. Indeed, Russians are aware of the Sabbateans coordinating their intelligence services, so it's all very interesting to consider indeed. However, certain Russians, especially neo-Nazis, are in league with the Sabbatean continuums. Indeed, it always seems to have been the case that Nazi networks are coordinated by Sabbatean networks. So it's all very interesting to note. Indeed, it's interesting how I've gone full circle from my original theories on Zionists and returned to theories on Zionists. So it's interesting to consider. Indeed, this all does seem to equate. Indeed, Benjamin Coleman's statement that Freemasonry is a branch of Judaism is true, but it's not the whole. Indeed, there are so many Aryan elements to Freemasonry also. However, there seems to be a synthesis here, as Khazars are themselves of Aryan heritage. So it's all very interesting to note how all of this interlinks. Indeed, the network, i.e. the intelligence branch of British Freemasonry, are considering employing Islamic people for some sort of mass rape of Wiltshire village felines. So it's interesting to consider the lengths that the network will go to destroy my exposures. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, the network are planning revenge attacks on felines who are sympathetic to me. So it's all very interesting, and this means that basically I have to keep myself to myself and not build networks here. So it's all very strange because I get very lonely, and indeed the beaming technology is driving me crazy, and I can't exactly tell anyone about it because I would probably be put in the nut house. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. There are certain networks of conspiracy theorists who have formed an alliance against me because they believe I have some sort of Russian connection, which is all very interesting because I don't. So it's all very strange indeed. I am heavily influenced by Russian mental patients, but that's mental patients. I'm not influenced at all by Russian government policies or intelligence operatives of Russian heritage. So it's all very interesting. This conspiracy theorist network are mainly concerned with research on UFOs, and their currents of research on UFOs is very much guided by intelligence disinformation. So it's all very interesting. These guys are basically part of a counterintelligence agenda to shut down any concepts regarding the cosmic conflict between schizophrenia and Freemasonry. Indeed, these UFO researchers who are caught up in a intelligence agency disinformation scam are themselves not real targeted individuals and are basically operatives as a front for intelligence community disinformation. Indeed, I enjoy reading certain UFO researchers. However, such individuals, as found in the Basis project, are a bit annoying. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this network of conspiracy theorists surrounding the Basis project seem to want to get one over on me for some reason. So it's all very interesting indeed. I've explained that I am not just a targeted individual in a British targeted individual program. I'm also a targeted individual in a Russian targeted individual program. So if I was working for the Russian state, I wouldn't be being beamed at and bombarded with gamma radiation by Russian intelligence services operatives. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. Benjamin Coleman is attempting to renew the conflict between paranoid schizophrenics and Freemasons, which is interesting to consider indeed. He also assaulted a policeman while psychotic, which I see as part of the conflict also indeed. The police are Freemasons and are operative to destroy the paranoid schizophrenic. And the concept of what paranoid schizophrenia is, cosmic intelligence. Indeed, the Freemasons and the Sabbateans are aware that paranoid schizophrenia is cosmic intelligence, and therefore they infest the cosmic intelligence operatives who are paranoid schizophrenics with demonic entities who coordinate a lot of the malevolent voices in the heads of paranoid schizophrenics. Indeed, it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, after I began to expose the organ trade in devices, I was infested with techno demons who were making the most horrific sounds in my head. And indeed, these techno demons were conjured utilizing AI in demonic rituals conducted beneath Grenville Lodge number 1787. It is all interesting how all of this connects to Grenville Lodge number 1787, and as I have been on a targeting list by Grenville Lodge number 1787 since 2013, after my explosive exposures of the Grenville Lodge Freemasons, i.e. networks of University of Buckingham professors who were sacrificing people underneath the university buildings and the Grenville Lodge crypt system and turning their souls into cats. So it's all very interesting to consider what is going on. Indeed, these small towns all across this country are coordinated by Masonic networks who engage in pedophilia, incest, necrophilia, cannibalism, and organ harvesting. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, this is certainly the case with Warminster, with Wyvern Lodge number 8620 and Longleat Lodge, though I can't remember the number, operating schemes whereby counsellors are initiated into satanic ritual networks and therefore are controllable because they are videoed committing sexual acts on small children during the initiation ceremonies and therefore are under blackmail for the remainder of their career. Not to mention the sheer level of Israeli spies operative in Wiltshire who are themselves blackmailing local lower level Freemasons and counsellors through an enormous blackmail scheme that the Mossad are running against the local authorities in the United Kingdom as conduits for the overall world cryptocracy domination of the Sabbatean networks such as the Jericho Group, who are the overarching intelligence service of the Russian-based Sabbateans, who interconnect with various other Sabbatean networks operating throughout Europe, Britain, and North America. Indeed, it may have been these networks that Benjamin Coleman identified, and this is what truly sent him crazy. Indeed, it seems that he was on the right track regarding the interconnectivity between Freemasonry and the Sabbateans, what with the network, i.e. the intelligence branch of British Grand Lodge Freemasonry, therefore North American Freemasonry also, being coordinated by Sabbatean cells of the Mossad who directly interconnect up to the Jericho Group, who are effectively the head operatives of the Russian KGB. So it's all very interesting to consider indeed. These are Sabbatean networks operative for Jewish world domination, i.e. domination of the world by a Khazar elite who richly sacrifice Hebrew commoners. So it's interesting to consider how this, historically speaking, relates to the Holocaust. Indeed, the Holocaust was a sacrifice by these Sabbatean Zionist elites of Hebrew commoners for occult ritual purposes. Indeed, this is why the term Holocaust means burnt offering. Indeed, this was an offering to Moloch. So it's all very interesting to consider. Indeed, Benjamin Coleman, the schizophrenic, most probably theorized on all of this himself, and therefore is a very prolific operative of the Cosmic Intelligence Services, and his data is invaluable to the Cosmic Intelligence Services in this ongoing conflict between Paranoid Schizophrenics, i.e. the Cosmic Intelligence Services, and the Freemasons, i.e. the network as they're known. So it's all very interesting to consider all of this and this ongoing conflict between schizophrenics and Freemasonry. So I'm going to leave it there now. Thank you.